What's up, family? We want to welcome you to another edition of For Veterans by Veterans. My name is Michael. We have a man, Walton from South Alabama. And then we got my man, Jamal from the Parts of Unknown. Fellas, how y'all doing today?
All right.
What's up, Chick?
Hey, man, everything good my way, man. Everything is good my way, man. How y'all week been going, man? We'll start with first, Sergeant.
We'll
start with our first
Sergeant. This week went pretty well. Starting to enjoy that fall weather coming through. Having those pumpkin spice lattes and things of that sort. So it's all good over here, man.
Okay.
Man, we trying to figure out how to dress.
Right.
I was buttoned down yesterday. Today I'm in shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, all right now.
Hey, did y'all get that? Did y'all get that little storm that came through? Did the storm come through and?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they canceled. They canceled our football games on Thursday. It was crazy, But it brought us a little cold front. So this morning, I think today it was like 80 degrees. So we 79, 80. So we got our cold front, man. So
man, that's Florida winter right there.
This that man. Red light weather right here.
Hey, listen, don't get me on red light, green light, man. I just saw Squid Games. Yeah, man. Hey, look, we got to do that one. We got to make a special show just about the Squid Game.
It was good, man. It was really good.
Yeah, man. So man, we're gonna start our show off with, man. We're gonna kind of flip the script a little bit, but we're gonna start our show off with a moment of silence for General Colin Powell, who lost his battle with, some people say COVID. He was up there in age. So we're gonna start our show off with a moment of silence to him, and yeah, that's what we'll do right now. All right. So gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about General Powell. We all got a chance to see him at some point during his height, and then when we were in, we saw him on another level, or another form of leadership in this country. So I just want to ask you guys, man, what do you think about General Powell, and kind of what are some things that he may have done to help you out without actually knowing us, and what did the general kind of mean to you? We'll start with you, Walt.
Man, I started back in 8th grade. Right before I went to 8th grade, that summer, I was about to start the 8th grade, and my first time seeing Colin Powell, and that's when Operation Desert Shield was in play, and seeing General Schwarzkopf, and heard a lot of his comments and stuff, and then I seen Colin Powell and was like, well, who is that? It was just as a black man, that's just caught my attention. Like, hey, I know we're that far up there, and just that alone, his presence, his whole demeanor and everything, and the way he spoke, it demanded your attention. And I watched that whole event go down through that summer, And even when we started school, man, we didn't even have regular classes because we were watching TV in the school, watching the war when Desert Shield turned into Desert Storm. I mean, we were watching it. They were calling it the push button war, and Colin Powell was all on top of it. And it although I didn't like the idea of war and people getting hurt and killed and whatnot, I had a sense of pride seeing General Colin Powell in action. That was just outstanding to me. A young brother like me, I was impressed. Yeah.
Okay. Jamal.
I mean, I really, you think about, what all the things that General Colin Powell accomplished in multiple careers, and but the thing that sticks out just for me personally, it's just sad, is that the loss of that figure. It just meant so much as far as talking about leadership, making sure you understand how to lead people, how to lead soldiers. He was honorable. Like, he made a mistake and he came back and he owned it. Unlike a lot of the politicians we have in office right now and before. So it's just you think about how great of a man that person was, and then also what kind of person he was. And it's just sad to see that another good person leaving, moving on, transitioning out. And I mean, that's the only thing I can really, I just can't get past that right now. This last week and a half, 2 weeks, where you just a stand-up guy. You're gonna miss that. We definitely need more stand-up people, especially in this point in time. So that's my biggest thing that's popping up in my head right now. Just a loss of words, thinking about that loss of a great leader and an outstanding man. So,
right. And I agree with both of y'all, man. I was the same way. I remember being at Hutto Middle School, and they had a TV special used to come on during the day. I think it was called Channel 1. And we used to look at it. Yeah. We used to look at it, and I used to be in Mr. Thomas class, Mr. Marvin Thomas class. And we used to look at it, and then I remember seeing Colin Powell, and I was like, man, who is this dude? And then, fast forward years later, when I joined the military, I was at Fort Jackson. Was it Fort Jackson? Might have been Fort Jackson, maybe Fort Lee. And he ended up coming to the post, and I was like, yeah, I remember that guy, but you so what's the word I want to say, in the trenches of what you're doing, you kind of don't really pay too much attention to it. And then when I went to NTC, I met Colonel Lynch. Colonel Lynch was the first black officer, and I think I had been in the Army maybe 18 months, somewhere around in there. But he was the first black officer that I met that was like colonel, that was on that type level. Mm-hmm. And I remember, having a conversation with him, and I was the only black quartermaster in that whole training. Because they brought us all in and put us all in a room, and I was the only black one there. And he said it was my first time going out there, and he ended up giving me a coin. And he said, man, listen, he said, whatever you want to do, you can do it as long as you put in the work. Mm-hmm. And I've never forgotten him, and I said all that to say this: if it wasn't for General Powell opening up those doors, I think later he became a general. Then he may have not been able to be in the position that he was in. So that's kind of where it transitions with me as far as Colin Powell, and then him being a political figure. Do you all remember when they were talking about he was going to run for president? The buzz.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask y'all this: what kind of president do you all think he would have been?
I mean, just going off of his character, what we know from his character, because he's kind of lived in that fishbowl for a long time. Going off of what we know, I think he would have been a stand-up president, man. I mean, every one of the presidents that's ever been in there has made a mistake or two. I don't know too many that own their mistakes, but I think he would have owned them. He'd be like, "Hey, I messed this up," and then he would have been like, "But this is the way forward," and continue to be that outstanding leader that he has been, or that he was. So I think he would have been awesome.
Right, I agree. I think he would have. He obviously would have took responsibility for his actions as he did for the invasion of Iraq, and telling the UN about evidence of weapons of mass destruction. He owned that. And he came back and said, "Hey, I made a mistake."
Mm-hmm.
And so far, he's been the only one. He's been the only one to come out front and say, "Hey, look, I mean, he gave a reason as to what he was doing and why, but the bottom line was he admitted, I made a mistake."
Right.
And that's what leadership is all about.
Right.
So let me ask y'all this. So how do we create more Colin Powells?
Man.
I think we
big shoes to fill there.
Yeah,
Right.
Huge shoes to fill. I think I think we have a lot of potential future Colin Powells at a certain level, but I think as far as that political game goes, I don't know how you do it. I don't know. I mean, if you don't have that in you, that intestinal fortitude in you like that, I don't know. And then just to watch these politicians just waffle every day, day in and day out. I don't care what side you're on. They waffle all the time. They make a mistake. No, I didn't make a mistake. It just happened. Whatever. It was the other side, or they want to blame somebody. Just own what you did, and let's move forward. Let's stop.
All right, let's not forget the good general was a Republican.
Yes, he was.
And spoke out against what the Republican Party had begun to turn into.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Yeah. And it was always a thing, like when it's like I had to be reminded that he was a Republican, because listening to him, I agreed with so much. And I took, I guess you can call it a quiz or something like that to see, like, your values, whether you're Democratic or Republican. And I honestly had more Republican values than I had Democratic.
Me too.
But I don't know if we're going to have anyone to like Colin Powell to speak up and say, "Hey, we're not going in the right path. This is not, what I signed up for. This is not what, we're all about."
Right.
And he did that.
And that's why I said that's why it's so sad, because it's such a huge loss. That's a huge loss, man. I mean, if you think about any of the parties, that way y'all don't come for me in parts are unknown. Any of the parties. I mean, what person is representing that? What person is like, okay, we need to get back to
go ahead and say Scott. Go ahead. Go ahead and say Scott. Go on. Go ahead.
So, I think the word you trying to throw out there is called integrity.
Right. Right.
I believe that's what you want. Integrity, selfless service, honor, duty.
Right.
I think them the words you throwing out there, man.
Something like that. Something like leadership.
Yeah,
leadership, man. And that's the crazy thing, man. People like him, like leaders, and I've been in certain positions to where I've been in leadership roles, and my thing has been like, I'ma own it. If I mess up, I'ma own it. Like, hey man, that was on me. You know, don't blame the people up under me. Blame me. You know, put that on my shoulders. You know, and then I've been on the other side to where I've been under leadership that, you know, some of them have taken the blame for some stuff that I've done. You know, and two of them guys we've had on the show. You know, you know, but I hear in the civilian world it's different. Like, ain't nobody taking no, Michael did that. You know, man, Michael wasn't even here when that happened. You know, yeah, but he didn't. You know, and everybody is covering their own selves. You know, and so I've always had that ability. And I tell you this story, and then we'll go. I was working for the #1 home improvement company in the world, and I'm in a position of leadership, and they asked me to fire one of my associates. And the reason, I knew why this guy was there. You know, I knew why he was there. He was there for the insurance. You know, he was an older guy and his wife was sick. He was there for the insurance. And I'm like, I'll just take a markdown on the item. It's like $600. I'll take a $600 markdown, and, you know, we'll just do a counseling session on it. They were like, nope, it's time for him to go. And I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, if y'all want to do it, you do it. And so the ultimatum was given: either you fire him or we're going to fire you, you know. And I just knew, man, that I couldn't wake up the next day knowing that I fired this dude, and I know why he's there, and he made a mistake on pricing. That we were to the good anyway. I was running a profitable business, so we were to the good. You know, $600, man, we threw that away every day. You know, and so they chose to get rid of me. And man, listen, my life since that time has skyrocketed. You know, because I just thought about having integrity and doing what was right. And if I did what was right in that moment, you know, even and then the crazy thing about it, the guys that were working under me, like, all those guys have like blossomed. You know, they're all doing amazing things right now, you know. But I look back and say, if I'd have did this guy like that, you know, maybe those guys would have looked at me totally different. Right. You know, so, you know, leadership is definitely, man, it's definitely the key. And General Powell, he definitely was one of those figures that, you're right, Jamal, that we could look up to.
Yeah, you kept that value system, boy. You weren't playing. That's what I'm talking about. It's not too many people, whether you're a politician or not, a soldier or not, whatever, that have that. So,
right. I mean, I agree with you.
That's an amazing thing. Just you telling that story. It's not too many people that have that, man. I'm telling you.
Right. Like, other people like, man, I'd have got rid of him, man. Man, listen. It was time for me to move on.
Gotta do what you can live with.
Yeah. Right. That's it, man. That is it. You know, so we're gonna segue into our next segment. Is October, and we're on the last day of it, is National Depression Month and Mental Health Screening Month. You know, so we kind of want to touch on this subject a little bit. You know, the month of May is actually Mental Health Month, but this is a Mental Health Screening Month. You know, so you know, we just kind of want to touch on it. You know, kind of give some ideas and some things that we do to keep our mental, and we don't call it mental health, we call it mental wealth, to keep our mental wealth bank account full, you know. So, I want to ask you guys, man, as far as depression, like what do you all do, like when you feel like, maybe some depression is about to come on, or can you feel, if you're about to get depressed, or do people around you notice it?
Speaking for myself, it's usually there's certain events that happen in my life at a certain time of year. So sometimes I don't even recognize it. I'll just be feeling some type of way, or notice my demeanor change as I get closer to the dates of those events. And like I said, I don't even think about it. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah, it's about that time of the year. So, but some of the things I do to try to, stay in good spirits or anything like that is, one, when I feel, my mind state change or anything like that, kind of ask that question. Why do I feel like that? Why am I a little bit down? Why am I a little bit, sad, and what's going on? And then, that's how I get to, oh yeah, whatever event happened on this day or whatever. And I talk to a counselor. On a regular basis, and they give me some tools to use to practice, to try to keep me grounded, keep me in the right space, so that I don't get too far out there where I'm, not in the right headspace. So that's just part of what I do.
So Jamal, let me ask you this, man. Can you give us like maybe one, if you don't mind, if you comfortable doing, maybe giving us one of the tools that that you work on?
Right. Well, I'll give you two. One of them is journaling. I like to just try to journal my thoughts, and kind of makes it easy to ask those questions of, look back and ask those questions of why I was feeling that way, or whatever. And then another thing is when I'm journaling those thoughts, there's this exercise that I use. It's called like challenging your thoughts. So you have a thought, or you have an event, you have beliefs about that event, and then you end up acting out. So what you want to do is just go through, and they give you a list of questions, and you kind of challenge the thought that you had. So that because thoughts become things, so you want to challenge those thoughts before they become something out of your control. So like a traumatic event or something like that, I'll go back through that event. I'll challenge my thoughts on that. If I believed I was responsible, then I'll start challenging, okay, why do I think I was responsible? What is the evidence for me saying that I'm responsible? What is the evidence against? What are my emotions about that? And just on and on and on until you kind of get to a point. I don't think I've ever gotten to a point where I've ever like it's 100% I'm good, but I can get to a point where I can manage those thoughts and bring it back to reality. Because sometimes emotions get high, and you just end up in a bad place if you don't get that under control. So challenging your thoughts and journaling are the two things that I use.
Right.
Wow. Hey man, you just helped me, man. Yeah. So because now I know why I write or type so much. Right. It's getting those thoughts out, and I was reading a book by Mel Robbins, The 5-Second Rule. I think I got it right. But, the first 5 seconds when something come out, write it down, and whether it's good or bad, and so what I do is I write it down, I type it down, or like I'll put it in my phone. Like I got these little notes in my phone, man, I may have 1 million of them, just to kind of get it out of my head and really just look at it.
Right.
Because seeing it like, oh, okay. You know, like, oh, that's a dumb idea. Or
it makes so much more sense when you write it down, because you can see as far as what I can see where I'm kind of going off the deep end. You know what I'm saying? Like if I write out, well, it was my fault that so-and-so got hurt because of XYZ, right? And then I could kind of run down and, well, wait a minute, who else was in the chain of command? Who else was part of this? You can't take 100% of the blame, because there's other leaders that's right. They doing the same thing you sitting in here doing right now. So is it 50% you? Is it 80? Is it, whatever the case may be, and try to work it down to, and then as you looking at it, you like, okay, I wasn't as responsible, but I still, it don't, certain things don't never go away, but at least it's a manageable percentage, if you will. So yeah.
Right. I definitely feel you on that one.
See, this for me is therapeutic to learn that people, especially friends, are going through either the same or similar things. Mm-hmm. So it it's like on the low, I'm learning, how to deal with some of the same issues. I didn't know what I was doing just to be doing it, but I have a digital recorder that I talk into, and I figured I was just writing down or capturing ideas and stuff, but these were things that were on my mind. And like Jamal was talking about, I have these certain moves where it feels like I'm about to be rushed or ambushed or whatever, and I got this fight or flight feeling, and I'm trying to take control of it, because I'm trying to tell myself, okay, nothing's going on, just relax and chill out. But there's been times where people have caught that. And when I thought I was hiding it, they've caught it and asked me, well, man, are you all right? And when you see 3 or 4 people surrounding you, you're like, oh man, what did I just do? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, trying to play it off. But they're like, man, we thought something was going on, something was about to happen. It looked like you was fixing to, go after someone or something. As I've had moments where I've blacked out, but trying to get control of it. I've done, I don't know, so, but yeah, I would need to talk to someone, definitely, about getting better control of it. But yeah, I'm learning right now.
Hey, same here, man. See now, like, so Jamal gave me a name of what I be doing. Now I got a name to go with it now.
Right.
So, and it's crazy how, if we don't have these conversations, how something that he's been doing, I've been doing it just in a different manner, and you've been doing it in a totally different manner. Well, actually, him and I are the same, but now I got a name for it.
Right.
And so, yeah, you got the same thing, man, and so, but it's good that we're having these conversations. And I think when I was reading something, when I was listening to a pastor, Pastor Hart Ramsey, and he was talking about depression, and he was talking about, man, when you feel like you're about to get in, you feel depression about to come on. He was like, man, just go walking or jogging. And he was like, there's something that's in your, as you're walking or you're jogging, there's, it was something that's in your foot that will give off signals, and it'll release those signals all the way up to your brain, and it'll change your thought patterns, just by getting out walking. And he had another term for it, but that's the part, that's the part that I can remember. And literally, man, it took me back to when we were in the military and you out there on that jog, man. I don't know about y'all, but being depressed was the last thing that I ever thought about, man. you know. And even now, when I get up and I do my walk, man, you know, when I get finished, I feel better. You know, the air, you know, the sun, you know, it's almost like gratitude, man. I'm grateful to be able to even do this, you know, because some people can't get up, and you know, so you know that's kind of some of the stuff that I do to help me, but also I believe in self-care. And I learned this when I went to DC a couple years ago to a conference, and that's one of the things that they talked about was self-care. You know, taking a couple of days to yourself, or you know, going and maybe getting a massage, or you know, getting your feet worked on, or you know, or going, you know, having somebody, you know, a haircut, you know.
You could call it a pedicure. It's all right. You don't have to.
Okay, yeah.
It's all right, man. It's all right. You call it a pedicure.
You know,
I don't win. Hey, I go ahead. I don't win and got them feet hooked up, man. Cause
okay,
yeah,
I can't stick my dogs up there, boy.
Hey, they take all kinds. And they'll bring out, if they need to bring out that buzzsaw, they'll bring that buzzsaw out for you.
Yeah, they look like I've been on the Manchu March.
I did too. Mine do too.
Oh man, you know, but even stuff like that, man, like it's therapeutic, you know. And a lot of times, you know, we won't go get in it. Like we'll go get a haircut, but then that's about it. You know, get a haircut, you know, go get some beers, you know, and then look at sports. And you know, a lot of times that ain't totally therapeutic, man. Like, you know, it's still even in sports, it's still competition, you know. So it's like you still racing, you know. I went and got a facial before the pandemic. And it was my first time. I was like, man, listen, this is like the best thing in the world.
Man, these women been holding these. Well, they ain't been secret, but you know, we've been. Ah, man, I don't get that. Whatever.
Hey.
Right quick. Just don't put the cotton in the toes, man. Don't do
that. Right. You know what, man? I gotta get one, man. You know, but now listen. Now you think back. Now and the thing about it, like I can hear. You know, I grew up around some old men. You know, I can hear them in the back of my head what they would say.
Hey, but I went and because you know, Tree been badgering me for years about my feet, so I went and got them hooked up. But when I went in there, it was like 2 or 3 old dudes in there. Vietnam vets had sitting in the chair, chilling. Like, okay, this ain't bad. All right, it's all right. It's okay. So sat down and did that. Got them feet hooked up, man.
Yeah, and all that
no more.
All that's therapeutic, man. That's self-care, man, and that's what we need to start doing more of. Like we got to have the brothers, you know, doing more self-care. You know, taking care of ourselves better. You know, not just be on the go all the time. And you know, like I said, man, not just being, you know, getting that bill, you know, or getting the liquor, you know, and then looking at sporting events like we would do, you know, getting some corn chips. And you know, so that's what I would say, man. Self-care. So we got 3 things for y'all, 4 things for y'all. We got journaling, you know, write your thoughts down. 2, challenge the thoughts. You got number 3, you can record, do video recording, you know, and then go back and look at it. And then number 4, self-care, you know. So we just save y'all months and years of counseling in 10 minutes.
Right.
I mean, you might and you might want to just go ahead and get that counseling too. There's a 5th one, yeah. They go that 5th one.
Right.
You want to go ahead and get that counseling, and then keep you from getting to that bad place where you might not be able to recover from. So,
right,
yeah.
Right. So hey, that's good. So the first four, you know, and if you was in the military, you would know that preventive maintenance. That's the
There
first
you
four,
go.
preventive maintenance. All right. And then if you need the counseling, go get the counseling. I'm finna give you a number, 800-273-8255. 800-273-8255. So if you want to get counseling and you're like, man, I don't know where to start, man, you can dial this number. And I say it again, 800-273-8255, and get the help that you need ASAP. So, fellas, y'all got anything else to add to mental wealth?
Oh no, I mean it's well, I do have one thing. Even if you're hesitant, you're iffy about it. Well, I'm not that bad off. Just call somebody, call a professional, and let them, you know, decide if you that bad off. If you have, and be truthful when you talk to them. If you kind of hold back, they can't help you if you don't tell them the truth. I had to learn that from experience. So, you know, tell them the truth. Let them be the judge of that. Then try to point you in the right direction. You may not need counseling. It may give you some tools that you can use to help yourself. And at the end of the day, talking to a counselor is not going to solve all your problems. They're going to give you tools. You still have to do the work. You still have to work. So that's what I would add to it.
All right. Well, that's our segment on mental wealth. Our next segment we're gonna get into is Halloween. You know, and I know, man, that like jumping bridges, man. But Halloween, man, let me ask y'all this, man. You know, I think today is Halloween or Halloween weekend, Halloween month. Some people celebrate it all month. You know, I know they just brought out the Michael Myers movie. You know, so it's all month. What do you all remember, or what is your like Halloween? What does it mean to you? You know, do you got a fond memory about Halloween or?
Well, I can tell you this though. One good thing about it is, especially for the people who, you know, believe that's just an evil thing or whatnot, you know, whatever your religion is my family never brought me up on worshiping no idols or anything like that. It was all about fun. And as they say, educated is the man who can entertain an idea without accepting it. So none of us are worshiping jack-o'-lanterns or skeletons or anything like that. This is all in traditional fun. That I'm so glad I grew up like that, just to know the difference, you know. And we're talking about Halloween now, but that includes Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. Nobody's worshiping these folks, but I think it's for the kids, and I think we kind of, it looks like around this area we kind of grew out of the ghouls and the ghosts and stuff, and they got the Ninja Turtles and the you know, more of the cartoonish type masks and stuff. You don't see too many scary stuff or whatever, but it seems like it's all about fun. Trunking treats and everything.
I'm just glad. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
Hey, man. Up your way, we know why they got out of the ghost.
Oh, snap.
Man, in this time, you better get out of it all around, all three of these things. But
right, man. Right.
Hey, I'm just glad I'm an adult, man, because I remember growing up and we couldn't afford the costumes. And I remember one year my mom was like, she was like, "What you want to be for Halloween?" And I can't even remember what I said, but I said something. It probably was Thriller, the werewolf, you know, like Michael Jackson played, or something foolishness. And she was like, "You gonna be a sheriff?" And I'm like, "A sheriff?" She said, "Man, go over there, and you gonna make your own costume." I was like, I'm gonna make my own costume. Okay. He said, go in there and cut a hole in that grocery bag, that paper grocery bag, and put the arm, cut a hole for the arms, and then we're gonna put the star out, put it on your chest, talking about sheriff, and that's gonna be your costume. And then she got me a little hat. I was so mad, bro. I'm 40 some years old now. I'm still mad about that, bro.
Hey.
Come on, dog. Nah. Be out there trying to hand candy. I'm like,
look,
nah,
I got that. I got a similar story, man. When I was in first grade, my mom had bought me a Superman costume, and so got it, man. I wore it, and every year they had at school they would have like a contest, right? And so I came in like third place or whatever, right? And the next year, mama had no money to get me no costume. So that costume was still up in my grandma's room behind the door. So I go get it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to wear this and I'm going to place again. Man, it's time. We go through the whole day. I remember like it was yesterday. We go through the whole day, and I never forget, man. My friend, he was like, man, didn't you wear that shit? I was like, I said, yeah, I did. He said, you ain't gonna be able to fit in this shit. So I go, I put the costume on, man, and it was tight. I'm talking about like I was looking like Ron Simmons in it, man.
Looking like Superman.
Man, we go like, yeah, I'm talking about real, man. Man, we go through, man. I don't place this time, and then we get back to the classroom, and my friend had to cut me out of it.
Great, Dave. You can't get that bad boy back off.
Hey, man, I'm about to suffocate it.
You say you did all this. I ain't even placed, man.
Oh, man. Hey, man, look, me and Halloween, I have not did a costume ever since then, man.
No.
So I think that was back in 88. Yeah, 87, 88, man. Somewhere in there, man.
Well, on the other side of the country,
costumes.
I was on the other side of the country just as mad as you was about Halloween. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh, man.
You know what? Yeah. I want to bring up one thing that I remember more than all the candy I ever got, man. I went with a group of guys in the back of our neighborhood, man. There was an much older lady that came out when we was yelling trick or treat or whatever, and she had this roll of nickels, and she put a nickel in everybody's bag. And the other kids, they were, like very vocal. They were like, what in the world I'm gonna do with a nickel, this and that. But I knew, which I didn't speak out or whatever, but I stayed and I actually talked to the lady because I knew from what my grandmother had told me what a nickel did back in their day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I talked to her for a while, but I never ever forgot that. And of course, I'm honestly sure she's pretty well much gone by now. But I used to want to go back and check up on her or whatever because I knew for her, she probably felt like that was like a real blessing for her to be able to give that out. And although no, it wasn't much we could do with a nickel, but I knew what she thought of it. Mm-hmm. So that was a fun memory of Halloween for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, gentlemen, we're gonna close out on this one topic that happened yesterday. So if you don't know, you'll know we pre-record the show. Okay. Yesterday down in Jacksonville, they had the cocktail party. And my Georgia Bulldog, we ate some good gator meat. Man, that gator was good and tender and juicy, man. I'm telling you, man. We ate so much gator meat, man, that we just got sick of it, man. We ain't even want it no more. We started feeling bad about eating so much gator meat, man. You know, so shout out to them Georgia Bulldogs for going down there and tearing it up, you know, and letting everybody know we here, you know, and we still working on our quarterback situation. You know, working on that.
I got a lot of Georgia dogs on my Facebook page, man. I got a lot of Georgia dogs on there, bro. I'm talking about it's a heap of them. So when I get on there and I put something about Roll Tide, boy, they coming. They like, especially when I put that picture.
Look, man, hey, listen. I ain't coming for y'all until we beat y'all. So until we beat y'all, I can't say nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Just like the Atlanta Braves, I ain't saying nothing.
That's how you know you. That's a true Georgia fan right there. Because hey, hold on, wait, let's see. This is we ain't playing with y'all. Let's see what happens.
Nope, let's see what happens. I ain't saying not. And listen, not nothing. I ain't saying nothing.
It's done,
right, till it's all said and done, you know, then I come out with that scroll.
Yeah.
I can't stretch it was over. I done that before. I didn't stretch it too soon.
Oh
man, I ain't done that before. I learned my lesson in 2003. Set the game off. I was stretching. Set the game off. Went back, talked to Crash, and partner of mine said, "You didn't finish watching that game, did you?" I said, "Excuse me." Yeah, man. Ooh. Boy, open mouth and say,
oh man! But I can say this about you, Walton. You are one of the most humblest Alabama fans. I can say that, man. But some of them, they just not humble, man. And a lot of them, we know. Like a lot of them, I know they were not Alabama fans before Nick Saban got there.
Wow.
I know that. I know a true Alabama fan. I know them.
Wow. Yeah.
But a lot of them jokers like to win. Soon as y'all start going down, soon as Nick gone, gonna be out the door, man. On the next bandwagon.
Great day.
What that comedian said.
I ain't gonna get on them too bad though.
What that one comedian said, what was the brother who passed away here recently? The one that was in I Got the Hook Up.
AJ.
Yeah, he said, I used to be in gangs and stuff when I was a kid. I ain't fight nobody. Whenever at whatever gang I was in was the one that was winning. And then you start losing. That's my side. You go to the side.
Switch
it up.
Oh man. Yes, man. But yeah, man, we number one still, you know, and the BCS ranking is the BCS.
No.
What is
BCS
the playoff?
Yeah.
You see, I'm still old school.
Yeah, that was old school. So you said BCS, I was like, oh.
BCS, that's old one now.
Yeah.
The playoff ranking, man, when it come out, man, it'll probably be us 1, Bama 2, and then they'll sort out. I don't think Cincinnati gonna make it. I think Oklahoma and Ohio State.
Man.
Yeah, I think they're gonna keep Cincinnati out.
I'm sorry, Cincinnati fans, but yeah, that Tulane like to get y'all, like to choke y'all up.
Right. Yeah. Well, fellas, man, we coming to an end, man. We done talked about General Powell. We touched on mental wealth awareness. You know, we gave y'all the 5 keys to that, you know, and talked a little bit about Halloween. And we finished it up with the good old cocktail party down in Jacksonville. So next year we ought to do a show down there next year, man. Let's do a show in Jacksonville next year, man, at the cocktail party, man, and film the whole day, man. I know it will be hilarious.
Oh no, now it ain't but three of them.
Hilarious.
One Georgia dog, a Florida State, and a dog on Rose. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of deep down there, Pat.
Don't worry, man. Hey, y'all will be with me, man. You'll be in good company, man.
No doubt.
Oh.
Yeah, go Dogs, baby. God bless you, and we love you.